Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome back to our social science next session, children. We have already studied in geography the lines of globe. So, we are going to continue with the same lesson. So, we have seen latitudes, longitudes, then heat zones and the various types of heat zones we have seen. So, let us just brush it up, okay. So, what is a latitude and what is a longitude? Latitude is nothing but the line which is parallel to the equator, right. So, latitude is the line which is parallel to equator, clear. Then what is longitude? Longitude is the line which is drawn across the globe on vertical shape, right. So, the vertical lines on the globe is longitude, clear. Then what is a heat zone? Heat zone is nothing but the various regions on the globe which are divided on the basis of heat received from the sunlight, clear. So, heat received from the sunlight based on the heat rays, the heat, light and sun's rays, right. So, that is all about heat zones. And what is about torrid zone? Torrid zone is nothing but the area between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, that is on the globe, just the area above and below the equator is torrid zone. It is also called as tropical zone. Torrid zone is also called as tropical zone. Then temperate zone. Temperate zone is nothing but the area between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. This area is temperate zone. This area receives less heat when compared to tropic zone. Tropic zone receives more heat because sun's rays directly hit the tropical zone. And when compared to tropical zone, temperate zone receives lesser heat, right. Then comes frigid zone. Frigid zone is nothing but the area between Antarctic Circle and South Pole and the same way Arctic Circle and the North Pole. It is called as frigid zone. And here there is a very less amount of heat, almost it is like cold region, and it is also called as polar region, clear. So, with this we will move to the next topic. So, we all know time it is different in various places, right. So, if it is morning in India, it is evening in USA. If it is midnight in India, it is mid-noon in other country. So, if it is night in India, it is evening in some other country. So, how does it happen? How is the time changing from place to place? We will see that now. So, how do we calculate the time? We calculate the time based on the rotation from west to east, clear. So, see, when the earth, this is the west direction and that is the east direction. So, when the earth makes a rotation, okay, what happens? The sun's rays falls on each meridian one by one. Why is it meridian and it is not latitude? It is because, see, on the earth we have seen sun will be like this, right. So, when it rotates this way, okay, what happens? The sun's rays fall place by place, right. So, on each meridian it will fall. So, first the sun's rays will hit this place, then it will move to, when the earth rotates a little, then the sun's rays move to the next meridian and then to the next meridian and then to the other meridian, like that sun's rays move from place to place. So what happens? Sun's rays, when it fall on a particular place first, the morning starts there, right? Then what happens? The sun's rays move to the next meridian. So there the morning starts then only. After this meridian, the next meridian gets its morning time. By that time, the first meridian, the time will go more, right? It will be around 10 o'clock or something like that, okay? So when the earth is rotating from west to east, the sun's rays fall on each meridian one by one. Clear? So what happens in a particular meridian, the sun's rays hits at the same time. So a particular area in between two lines, that is two longitudes, two meridians have the same time. Clear? So the time in this area will be the same. And the same way, after some time when this place gets morning, the time will be the same here also. Okay? So that is how the time differs from place to place. So we will see what is local time. Local time is nothing but a time which is in the particular meridian. That's all. Simple. Okay? So a particular time when the sun directly hits a meridian, okay? It is on the top of the meridian, say. So that time is called as midday, right? We always say the sun over our head, it is noon, right? It is 12 in the afternoon. So when the sun hits the meridian on direct, it is called as midday or noon, okay? So, and at the same time, in a particular meridian, the time is the same, okay? The time is same at all the places in a particular meridian, and this time is called as local meridian. See, in a particular meridian, time is same. This is the first thing, and that time is called as local time. Clear? So that is all about local time. The time that is prevalent in a particular meridian is called as local time. Clear? So from the time zone time changes from meridian to meridian, there is the difference in time, right? So we all know that Earth takes 24 hours to complete its rotation. You remember, which we have seen in our first class. So Earth takes 24 hours to complete a single rotation. So which means a complete rotation or a complete circle is 360 degrees. Clear? So this 360 degrees to complete, Earth takes 24 hours. Clear? So 360 degrees in 24 hours. So when we divide this, which means Earth takes 15 minutes to complete 1 degree. Okay? Sorry, it is Earth takes 60 minutes, 1 hour. Sorry, I have divided by 24, right? I have said it is 24 hours. So 24 hours when we divide it by, 360 degrees when divided by 24, we get 15, which means 15 degree per hour. Clear? So Earth can complete its one rotation in 24 hours, which is 360 degree. That is the first point. Then per hour, in single hour, Earth can complete 15 degrees of angle. So if 1 hour it is 15 degrees, then in 4 minutes Earth will complete 1 degree of its rotation. Clear? So is that clear? I am repeating it again. It takes 24 hours to complete 360 degree. So it takes 15 degree, it takes 60 minutes, that is 1 hour to complete 15 degrees. And then it means that it takes 4 minutes to complete 1 degree. Clear? So for every meridian, okay, so each degree is a meridian. If we are calculating like that, each meridian is 4 minutes later than the previous one. So when it is 9 o'clock in first meridian, okay, and what happens? The second meridian, it will be 8:56, clear? The third meridian, it will be 8:52, that is 4 minutes later than the previous meridian. That is how the sun's rays hits the meridians. So the overall in 15 degrees of longitude, each 15 degree differs by 1 hour, clear? Each degree differs by 4 minutes and each 15 degree differs by 1 hour. That is how the time difference is there. So with that, we will see what is a standard time. So each area is going to have a different time. Then how will we have a time? See, if Chennai is going to be 9 o'clock and Kerala is going to be 8:56, how can we calculate the time? Not a single country can have various times, right? So then came the standard time, clear? So see, if all places are following their own times, and if a particular country doesn't fix in a meridian, understood? See, if the country's width is more and it does not fix in a single meridian, then what will happen? One country will itself have 2 or 3 various times. So to avoid confusion in that will create a very big confusion within the country itself, right? So what we did, to deal with that, every country had a standard time, right? So even if it is going to be in 2 or more meridians, a single country, if it is there in 2 or more meridians, we never mind about that. There is a standard time being fixed for that country, okay? So every country has a standard time, clear? So standard time is nothing but the local time that passes through the midway of the country. So if the country is going to be divided into half, the time in that center point is going to be the standard time throughout the country. The time through the central meridian of the country is going to be the standard time of the country. So in India, it is 82.5 degree east, okay? So this meridian is the standard time, okay? 82.5 degree east is the standard time for India. India is under 2 meridians, 2 and 3 meridians, okay? So 3 meridians passes through India. So we cannot follow 3 times for a single country, right? So we are following the time in which the central meridian of India passes through, and that line passes through 82.5 degrees east, clear? So the time which is standard in India is called as Indian Standard Time, IST. You would have come across this term. IST is the Indian Standard Time, clear? This line, the central meridian which I said 82.5 degree east, it passes through a place called Mirzapur, which is in Allahabad, clear? So it is in Mirzapur in Allahabad. This is the centralmost line which divides India into 2 halves, clear? So we are taking the standard time as the time in Mirzapur. So that is the time applicable all over India. So in India map, now you can see this is the centralmost line which is 82.5 degree east. So the time on this meridian is called as standard meridian, because the time on this meridian is taken as standard time, Indian Standard Time. So this meridian is called as standard time. Fine, see, you can see two more longitudinal lines that is there in India. So we cannot follow one time here and another time here, right? So for that purpose, we are taking the time in this standard meridian, clear? So after this, we are moving to time zone, okay? We have seen what is local time, we have seen what is the time difference and how it is being calculated. we have seen what is standard time. Now we are moving to time zone. Time zone is nothing but a particular region that uses a same time is called as time zone. Clear? See, as we said, India is using a same time all over the country, right? So we are under same time zone. Simple. Okay? So the same standard time, when it is used by a particular region, it falls under same time zone. Clear? So totally there are 24 time zones in the world. Why is it 24 time zones? Because the earth takes 24 hours to complete a single rotation and 1 hour to complete a 15-degree, and we are dividing it on 15-degree basis, right? So 24 time zones are there in the world, okay? And each time zone is separated from the other by 15 degrees or an hour, which I said now, right? So each time zone varies from the other time zone by 15 degrees or it is equal to 1 hour. Clear? And the large countries, the country which is more of width, okay, it has more time zones in one country itself. See, for example, USA, Canada, Russia, all these countries have more than one time zones. Clear? And especially Canada and USA have 5 time zones each. Just imagine in one country they are going to follow 5 different times. Okay? So that is the that is all about time zone. Clear? So this is the map of Canada. Clear? See, you can see the 3. This is the map of USA. Sorry children. This is the map of USA. You can see time zone 1, time zone 2, time zone 3, time zone 4, and here comes another time zone 5. So 5 different time zones are there in one single country. Clear? So that is all about time zone. Next comes Greenwich Meridian time. So what is the Greenwich Meridian time? As see, we follow a standard time when it comes into a country, because to avoid confusions internally within a country. So the same way we should follow some standard time all over the world, because there are travelers from one country to other country. To avoid confusion, we will have one standard time, and based on that time, the time will be calculated for all the countries over the world. Clear? So that is called as International Standard Time. See, I am reading this. As the standard time is being followed within a country, the same way to avoid confusions in international dealings, the International Standard Time has to be followed. Clear? So that time is based on the time of prime meridian. So this time, how is it based on? It is based on the time of prime meridian. What is prime meridian? It is Greenwich Meridian. We have seen yesterday Greenwich Meridian. Right? Greenwich Meridian, which passes through London. We have seen that. Where does it pass through? It passes through Royal Astronomical Observatory in London. Right? So this is the standard time all over the world, which is based on Greenwich time. Clear? So this is known as Greenwich Meridian time, GMT. Okay? If you see in your mobile, no, you can just see the Indian time is GMT plus 5.30, it would have been mentioned. Okay? So all the time over the world is based on GMT. That is, if GMT is 0, then the Indian time is plus 5.30, which means if the time is 12 o'clock in Greenwich Meridian, then it is plus 5.5 hours in India, which means Indian time will be 5:30. Clear? So based on the Greenwich time only, the time is calculated all over the world. So that's what I said. In India, it is 5.5 hours ahead of GMT. So we will mention it as Indian time will be mentioned as GMT plus 5.30. Clear? It is 5.30. So, if it is going to be behind 5.5 hours for some other country, then it will be mentioned as GMT minus 5.30. Okay, for India it is GMT plus 5.30. It differs from place to place. Clear? So, this is the, as we have seen the Greenwich Meridian yesterday, we have seen a line, no? The same way, this is the clock which is there in Greenwich, okay? So, this is the standard time of Greenwich, and based on this, we calculate our time. Clear? So, with this, we have come to the end of time zones and the time calculation. We will see about this Greenwich Meridian time and the calculation of time all over the world in detail in our next session. Thank you. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.